Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday, and welcome to another episode of the Wednesdays with the Doc podcast show. I am your host, Dr. Daphne, and I am so excited to share this space with you on this Wednesday. As we get started with today's episode, and as is our custom here on Wednesdays with the Doc, let's just take a few moments to settle in wherever you are. If you are, in a place where you're not driving, just get comfortable, relax your body, release any tension, gently close your eyes if you're in a safe place, or just let your gaze relax a little bit and just take some time to observe where you are, what you need from this space, and just take a few moments to reflect within. Let your breath float in and out in a nice, smooth inhale and exhale, and take note of what it feels like to breathe in that way. Take note of what your breath feels like, and take note of any sensations in your body. And just stay in this place as we continue on with today's episode. Take some time to transition so that you can give your full attention to the information shared with you in today's episode. Now, the month of April has a few different observances, and for today's podcast episode, I am going to focus on stress awareness. So one of the observances in April is National Stress Awareness Month. And so we all know, we hear the term and we talk about how stressed we are and how, this thing is causing us stress. But stress is nothing more than, feeling worried or anxious or experiencing worry or anxiety or some tension that is caused by a difficult or challenging situation. A lot of times, stress is kind of our natural response system to let us know that we need to handle that situation. And stress in and of itself is not necessarily a bad thing because it's a natural part of our human response. The challenge or the issue with stress can come in when we let that worry and that stress take over our lives to the point of it impacting our functioning or causing us some type of physical, issue, such as an anxiety attack or a panic attack, or even in some instances, heart issues. And so today, I want to offer just a few tips to help us manage stressful situations or to help us manage our stress in a little bit more of a healthy way. So your mental health tip for this episode is to, one, identify what your sources of stress are. And these are going to be those situations or challenges that you think about constantly that causes you, some type of distress. So identify your source of stress. For some people, it is financial challenges. For others, it's experiencing some kind of, health issue, or for some, it's challenges with raising children. Whatever it is, identify your sources of stress so that you know those things that are posing a challenge or difficulty in your life. Once you identify your sources of stress, then think about and identify what are those things that you do to manage stress. Some things that we do to manage stress, are not necessarily always healthy. Sometimes we do that emotional eating, or we turn, to, drinking in excess, or, we may turn to using drugs in excess. So you want to think about what are some things that you do to manage stress and identify those things. Now, and some of us, we do engage in other activities to manage our stress that may be a little bit more healthy, like seeing a therapist or getting physical exercise in, or creating a plan to address the things that are causing us stress. So make that list of how you manage stress. Once you have that list of the things that you do to manage stress, then you want to look at that list and identify what are the things that have been working and what are the things that have not been working. What are the things that have been helping you to alleviate that problem or resolve that problem so that you're not stressed anymore? And what are those things that you are doing to manage the stress that may be increasing your stress, or that may be contributing to your continuing to have stress? So you want to identify that in your list as well. Now, once you've kind of done those things, you really want to then identify what are the things that you want to do to manage stress in a more healthy and helpful way. And that, is going to encompass the things that work for you. I'm going to give you a few ideas in today's episode, but you want to try out things that may work for you. So one thing that you may want to do to manage your stress is to establish a daily routine. Establish a morning routine that encompasses things to help you get your day started in a more positive way. That could be taking a 30-minute walk in the morning. That could be meditating. That could be praying or reading your Bible. That could be engaging in some other spiritual practice. Whatever it is, that could be reciting affirmations. You want to establish a morning routine that encompasses those activities as well as the things that you do to get ready for your day, like grooming and hygiene and all of those things. So you want to include all of those things in your morning routine. And then you also want to create an evening routine. So what are the things that you do in the evening to help decompress from work, to help you, prepare yourself for bed? You want to think about how to incorporate activities at the end of your day as well. And these could be things like journaling, keeping a gratitude journal at the end of your day. These could be things like meditating again at the end of the day, taking another short walk to close out your day, taking a hot shower or a warm bath at the end of the day. It could also, just be sitting still in a quiet place to reflect on the day, to think about those things that went well and the things that you want to improve upon for the next day. But you want to establish a morning and an evening routine. And these don't have to be anything that lasts a whole hour. Your morning routine could be 30 minutes tops. The evening routine could be a 15-minute tops. You don't have to spend a lot of time on these things, but you want to, have a routine to help you keep your day moving in the way that you want it to go. So as an example, my evening routine takes me about 10 minutes. My evening routine encompasses my gratitude journal. It encompasses me, cleansing my face and taking care of my skin. And it also includes me praying. So at the minimum, it's 10 minutes. At the maximum, depending on how much time I spend praying and reading and maybe doing a short meditation, it could be as long as 30 minutes. That's my evening routine. So as an example, that is something that you can do. But again, one of your coping strategies is to establish a routine and then getting some exercise in. This doesn't mean that you have to go to the gym or spend a lot of money on exercise classes. It really is as simple as just taking a brisk walk for 30 minutes a day. The exercise will help your physical body as well as your emotions. It can also help you to calm down when you are feeling stressed and help you to regulate your emotions a little bit better, as well as your heart rate. So exercise has a benefit across both mental and physical areas. Getting enough sleep will also help with managing stress. Our bodies need, at least 8 hours of sleep each night. And I would say 7 to 8 hours. And depending what's going on in your day, you may need a little bit more, like 8.5 hours. But the idea is to get an adequate amount of sleep, at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night. I would also recommend reducing your caffeine intake. And I know for my coffee lovers, some of you start your day that way. Some of you have multiple cups of coffee in your day. But I really recommend reducing your caffeine intake as a way to help you manage the symptoms of stress, to help you to also be mindful of when you're drinking coffee. You may not want to drink the coffee right before bed, to help you have a more restful night's sleep, as well as to help you fully engage in that evening routine, as well as reduce your sugar intake. This just goes back to how we're taking care of our bodies, and how we take care of our bodies also impacts how we are able to manage difficulties and challenges, and how we're able to manage when we are stressed. So reducing your sugar intake is going to be a coping strategy as well. And I talked about this with your routines, but really engaging in meditation. And meditation does not have to be some, pie in the sky thing. Meditation is simply sitting still, getting into a quiet place, relaxing yourself, and just reflecting within. And the meditation will help you think through in a more relaxed and calm state without judgment how you may want to handle whatever the situation is that's causing you stress. The other coping strategy that I'm going to give you is to also maybe set a plan of action or a goal for how you want to resolve whatever that stressful situation is. So if the finances are causing you stress, then develop a plan and a goal for managing your finances. Create a budget, create a plan for when you're going to pay certain debt, or when you're going to pay your bills, and how much income you have coming in. Creating a plan or goal and following through with it will help you to feel like you're accomplishing things. It will help you to feel like you're taking some control of that problem, and also help you to manage the stress and manage the feelings of being stressed, because you feel like you're making some progress toward resolving whatever that issue is. So, as we close out today's episode, I just want to again say stress in and of itself is not necessarily a good or a bad thing. It's just our natural human response when we are experiencing a challenge or a difficult situation. How we handle stress can, be an issue when it impacts our daily functioning. And so we want to engage in some more healthy strategies to manage the stress, using some of the coping strategies that were presented in the podcast episode today, as well as, figuring out for yourself what are some things that work for you to manage stress. I have enjoyed sharing this space with you all today. I hope you receive some information that you could take with you as you develop strategies for managing stress and taking care of yourself on all levels. The podcast show is not a replacement for therapy. So if you do find yourself in distress, where your daily functioning is being impacted, or you just feel like you need to talk with an objective party, please, find a licensed mental health professional in whatever area that you live in. You can check out sites like Therapy Tribe or Psychology Today to find a licensed mental health professional in your area. But again, the podcast show is not a replacement for therapy. Again, I have enjoyed sharing this space with you all. I wish you all a peaceful, calm, and amazing day.